Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Cully.
And I'm Mrs. Lane.
And we are here to read you Chapter 6 of The Lemonade Wars. Chapter 6 is called Underselling. Underselling is pricing the same goods for less than the competition. Jessie knew that Evan was up to something. First of all, there were all those phone calls last night, at least 10 of them. Then he'd come knocking on her door this morning, asking if he could have pieces of foam core she had leaning against her bedroom wall. No way, she'd answered. That's for my Labor Day display. Oh, give it up. Today's Thursday. The contest is on Monday, and you don't even have an idea, Evan said.
I do too have an idea. I'm just not telling you. Jessie still didn't have a clue about her Labor Day project, but she wasn't going to give Evan the satisfaction of knowing that. Then how come you haven't done anything? Evan said, pointing at the blank foam core and the bags of untouched art supplies. They're supposed to have pictures and typed up information and a little title. Big title, actually. It's supposed to be a school report. Jessie scratched her eyes and pursed her lips in a "shh, you're such an idiot" look. Don't worry, it's going to be great and it's going to win first prize. And anyway, Mom bought all those supplies for me and I'm not giving anything to you. Jessie heard Evan mutter, "Miser," just as she slammed the door in his face. And now 3 of Evan's friends were over, Paul, Jack, and Ryan, and all 3 had shown up with paper bags. And they were all in the garage making a lot of noise with a big "Keep Out" sign taped on the door. Not that Jessie would have gone in there anyways. Who cares what a bunch of boys are doing? But she wished Megan had invited her to come over before lunch instead of after.
Jessie went into the kitchen to make a turkey sandwich. The boys had left a slimy mess of peanut butter, Doritos, and, yes, sticky puddles of lemonade mix. Jessie quickly looked in the trash can under the kitchen sink. There were 12 empty cans of frozen lemonade mix. 12. That was 96 cups worth of lemonade. 96 possible sales. Holy cow. Where had Evan gotten the lemonade? He hadn't gone to the store, and he didn't have any money anyway. Then Jessie remembered the paper bags that Paul, Ryan, and Jack had carried in. She bet the boys had all raided their freezers and brought over a stash. That didn't seem fair. She and Megan had to buy their lemonade today, using the money they'd made from yesterday. How were they going to stay ahead of the game if the boys had free lemonade to sell? Think, Jessie, think, she whispered to herself. She couldn't let those boys win.
By the time she finished her lunch and cleaned up her mess, she wasn't going to lift a finger to help the boys clean up their mess. She had the beginning of a plan in her head, which is why she found it doubly confusing when she knocked on Megan's screen and Carly Brownell came to the door. Jessie been all ready to say, "I've got an idea," but then there was Carly, looking down at her like she was an earwig. Is Megan home?" asked Jessie. Carly didn't open the screen as she looked left and right behind Jessie. "Where's Evan?" "Huh?" said Jessie. Megan came running down the stairs carrying bottles of nail polish. "Oh, hi, Jessie," she said, opening the door. She poked her head out and looked around. "Where's Evan?" "He's at home." "Why?" asked Jessie. Carly made a noise like a snorting hippopotamus. "I thought you said he was coming," said Megan. "No, I didn't," said Jessie. "You said it would be fun to make a lemonade stand with all 3 of us, and I said, yeah, that would be fun."
So, didn't he want to? Asked Megan. I never asked him, said Jessie. Oh, I thought you were going to, said Megan. Then you should have said, hey, Jessie, ask Evan if he wants to make a lemonade stand tomorrow. And then I would have asked him. This was exactly what drove Jessie crazy about girls. They always said things halfway and then expected you to get the other half. And Jessie never got the other half. Carly gave Megan a look. Jessie wasn't positive what the look meant, but she was pretty sure it wasn't a nice one. That was the other thing that Jessie hated about girls. They were always giving looks that contained all kinds of strange and complicated messages. Last year in 2nd grade, there had been 4 girls who were always exchanging looks at one another. Becky Baker, Laura Lee Sun, Andrea Hennessy, and Eileen Garrett. Jessie watched them and knew that Evan was right. They talked without words. They used their eyes to pass secret messages. She also knew they didn't like her, but only because Evan had finally explained it to her over Christmas vacation. Jessie was surprised when he told her this. They laughed so much. How could they be mean?
They were the four who started the club, the Wild Hot Jelly Beans Club, or as they called it, the WHJ Club. Becky was president, and she was always telling the others what to do. They made signs and paper buttons and membership cards. The teacher, Mrs. Soren, didn't usually allow clubs in the classroom, but she made an exception, telling the girls, "I'll let you wear your buttons in class, but only if you let all the other kids join, if they want to." By the end of the day, every kid in class was wearing a WHJ button, even Jessie, who'd never belonged to a club before. It had seemed like Becky was being so nice to her. That should have been her first clue. Evan told Jessie later. Becky made extra buttons for Jessie and even helped tape them all over her shirt. And she made a special membership card for her and even a WHJ sign that she helped Jessie glue onto her writer's workshop folder.
This doesn't seem very nice.
Nope.
Jessie remembered all the girls laughing, and Jessie laughing too, and all those strange looks that Becky and Laura Lee and Andrea and Eileen kept flashing back and forth like secret notes passed in class that Jessie could never read. The very next day, Mrs. Soren collected all the buttons, gathered up all the membership cards, and even replaced Jessie's writer's workshop folder. "No clubs in the classroom," she said. "I made a bad choice by allowing it, even for one day." On the playground, Jessie went up to Becky. "Why is she breaking up the club?" she asked. Becky gave her a sour look. She'd been grumpy all morning. "Don't you get it, dummy? WHJ doesn't stand for Wild Hot Jelly Beans. We just said that to Mrs. Soren. It stands for We Hate Jessie." Wow. "It's the We Hate Jessie Club, and everyone in class is a member." Wow. That really took a turn.
Yes.
Jessie stared at Becky. Why did they hate her? What had she ever even done to them? It didn't make sense. And then Laura Lee, Andrea, and Eileen had laughed, and even Becky had managed a smirky grin.
I feel sad for Jessie.
Yeah, me too.
"Jerks," Evan said later when Jessie told him the whole story. "They've got rocks for brains." But Jess, you gotta be on the outlook for girls like that. Standing in Megan's front hall, Jessie stared at Carly. Something inside told her Carly was a girl like that. "Look," said Jessie, "it doesn't matter. Evan can't come over, he's busy, and we've got to get going on our lemonade stand. I've got an idea." "We don't want to do a lemonade stand," said Carly. Jessie looked at Megan. "It's just that..." Megan fiddled with the bottles of nail polish in her hand the same way she'd fiddled with her band bracelets the day before. "It's kind of hot, and we did the lemonade thing already. And now Carly is over, so, you know..." "You said you wanted to," said Jessie. "And I thought you liked me," she added in her head. She felt her lower lip tremble. "Not now," she shouted inside. "Don't you be a big baby."
I sure wouldn't blame her, though.
Me neither.
Megan stood there, saying nothing, fiddling with the bottles. Then she turned to Carly. Come on, Carly, it'll be fun. We made a ton of money yesterday, and it was really fun." Ooh, proud of her for standing up to Carly.
Upstander, yeah.
Carly crossed her arms, tightened her lips, and raised one eyebrow. It was amazing how high she could raise that eyebrow. Jessie had never seen an eyebrow go that high.
I can't do that, can you?
I don't think so. "Well, then, I guess," Megan's voice trailed off. She clicked one bottle of nail polish against another so it made a tapping sound that filled the long silence. "I guess me and Jessie will do the lemonade stand alone then." Carly dropped her eyebrows and her arms. "Whatever," she said as she walked out the door. That's her loss.
Mm-hmm.
"Spend the day babysitting if you want." The screen door slammed, followed by a huge bucket full of silence. "Whatever," said Megan, imitating Carly's voice.
Babysitting because Jessie's younger?
Because she's younger, yeah.
That was not nice.
No.
Jessie laughed, even though she was still stinging from the babysitting remark. Yeah, it hurt. Thanks for doing the lemonade stand with me, she said. Are you kidding me, said Megan. She's such a stuck-up jerk. I didn't even invite her over. She just rode by, and when I said that you and Evan might be coming over, she just walked into the house. Are all the girls in 4th grade like her? Asked Jessie. She tried to sound casual. Some are, some aren't, said Megan. She sat down on the stairs and opened a bottle of sky blue nail polish. With quick expert strokes, she started painting her toenails. Hey, that's right. You're going to be in our class this year. That's so weird, jumping a grade. A lot of people skip a grade, said Jessie. Really? I never met anyone before. Here, do your toes green, and then we'll be coordinated. Jessie ended up getting more polish on her toes than on her toenails. But by the time they were done, Jessie had explained her plan for the day. Value added. Chapter 6 is a very long chapter, so we're going to pause here and make a part 2.
So look on the YouTube channel for Chapter 6, Part 2 to continue.
It should be right below this one.